Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Layla. In case you're new here, please subscribe. And if you are my returning subscriber, thank you very much for keeping around. So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing a story time on how I lost my job that I really loved so much. Yeah, just all because of a stupid reason. Okay, so let's dive in. If you have been following me on TikTok or here on YouTube, you must know right now that I'm working in intensive flagging 1:1, where I have to go to my patient's place and I work 12-hour shifts. So the story that I'm going to be telling you guys is not about the current job that I'm doing, but the job that I lost before coming to this current one. The previous job that I was doing was also related to this one that I'm doing right now because it's in the same sector. So I was also working in intensive care, but on patients that were stationed. So on the station that I was working at, we had 9 patients and each nurse was working on 3 patients. So I really liked that team and also I liked my boss. But like they usually say, good things don't last forever. We had a drastic change in the workplace. My boss that was really nice was changed and taken somewhere else. And then we got another boss that was really, really so mean. Now, let me tell you why I say this boss was mean. So at the beginning, when I had just started working at that place, that boss was a team Leitung, like she was the leader of that team. We had a boss, and then that the next to the boss was her. She was the team Leitung. She was leading the team. Like when we have wishes, we go to her, and then she brings them to our boss. And she wasn't the most friendly because most of the times when someone is new at a job, they shouldn't expect you to know a lot of things. Yeah. I mean, you are in a learning process, you know. And the fact being that I was from an alter time when I had just changed to that workplace, the things that we were doing at that station were really completely new for me because in the alter time, we have different duties that we are responsible for as nurses. So this is what she used to do. She would target me and come and ask me questions about patients that I hadn't even known, you know. So when I was new there, I was learning one patient at a go. And intentionally, she would come and ask me information about a patient that I haven't learned about. And she would require me to know information about that patient, even when I haven't worked on her yet, you know. So I used to be like, I really don't know the information that you're asking me, but this person is responsible for that patient. Maybe you can go to her. So she used not to like that, yeah. And then she would tell me, you are working at the station since 1 month. You should be knowing all the patients and everything about them. And I was like, I wouldn't say she was only mean to me. I would say she was generally mean to the whole team because when we were interacting with the whole team, when she wasn't at work, the whole team would be like, yes, she's also mean to me. She said this and this. Like everyone didn't like her. And whenever she was at work, we didn't have like harmony at work. Like, you know, everyone was like, I'm just going to go take care of my patients for 7 hours and get out of here, you know. But when she wasn't at work, we were like cooperating. We would be like you would see the harmony in the team. You'll be seeing people like taking breaks together. You'll be seeing people like communicating in the workplace, you know, differently. And whenever she would come, she brings this negative energy and no one would want to be in the break room when she is inside there. She would completely change the vibe to negative, you know. So yeah, she wasn't really the best team Leitung. And then it even became worse when she became the boss. Now, when she became the boss, it was just another thing. So she was pretending to be nice when they introduced her as a new boss. She was like, yes, I'm the new boss. If you have any wishes, I'm now responsible because now the current boss is going somewhere else and I'm going to be taking over. And then she was like, she wishes a good cooperation between us and her, you know. So we thought she was going to take her work more serious and stop being petty, but it was the opposite. Now, this is how I ended up losing my job in this period. So, if you are a foreign worker here in Germany, you usually have to have 2 things, a work visa and a work permit. So, whenever you're changing a job, you have to change your work permit because on the work permit, they usually write where you are working. Yes, you have a visa, but you also need a work permit always. So, whenever you're changing a job, also from one job to another, you usually have to end your work permit. because it's in the work permit where it's usually written where you are working and how many hours you are working at that place. And that's very important. So when I changed my workplace from the Altisheim and I came to this station, it was Corona time and the offices that were responsible to change my work permit were closed and we were supposed to do everything online. So when I changed my workplace, I sent an email to these offices and I informed them that I'm going to be working for this company starting with May and I require a new work permit. I sent them the address and I also sent them my work contract. So what they did is to just ignore and forget. But for me, back in my mind, I thought they needed time to work on that because there were a lot of people who were sending in things online during Corona time. And I thought they needed more time. And because it was Corona time, most of the health sectors were lacking workers. And that's why the new station that I had applied to allowed me to start working even before renewing my work permit. So because I also needed money, I said, yes, I will start working, whereas I possess my work permit. So I started working for them and months went by. So I finished my probation time and my contract was going on and elongated. So I thought it was okay because they did not write to me back to change my work permit. I somehow also forgot because I was working too much. In Corona time, we didn't really have time for breaks like days off because most colleagues were falling sick and we had to do extra hours. So in that process, I forgot to process my work permit and I continued working for this company. So when Corona ended, they wrote to me and asked me to go back to the offices and get my new permit because I never handed it in. And in my head, because I knew I had already applied for it, I didn't think that was going to be any complications there if I went to the offices to pick it up, you know. So I went to these migration offices and I told them that I had ordered for a renewal of my permit because I changed my job. And also I went there with my contract and also had proof on my email that I had contacted them. So I went there and the woman there told me that they never received anything and that I never applied for anything. So she told me that it was my fault that I started working at this new place without a new permit because it's also Strafbar. So like Strafbar means like it's not allowed. I'm supposed to pay a fine, you know? So I was like, okay, I didn't know about that it was Strafbar. And me myself, I didn't expect any workplace to allow me to start working for them. Yet they know how the laws work here in Germany, like they know them better than me. So I didn't expect them to let me work for them, yet they know I needed a work permit and that it could bring me in problems if I worked with them without changing the work permit. So the woman told me I wasn't allowed to work for this company and it might even make me to pay a fine of 5,000 euros. So it was in this moment when I needed the help of my boss, the petty boss. So in this moment, I was really confused and I asked the offices to advise me what I'm supposed to do, you know? So I asked them, what is my next step that I'm supposed to take? And the woman told me that I'm supposed to quit the workplace that I'm working at and apply newly so that my contract gets renewed, gets new dates of start so that I can apply for the work permit. So after getting this information, I went back home and I called my boss, the petty boss. And I told her this is what they have told me at the migration offices. I need a new contract so that they can process me a work permit. And she told me, okay, I will call you later. I'm busy. And I waited. And I waited for the second day. And I waited for the third day. She did not call me. So I told my boyfriend, I need money. I cannot stay 1 month without working. I need money. So what I did is to call the offices, the bosses of her bosses, you know. So what they told me is, yes, we have gotten the information from your boss. What you should do is to communicate with her because she's the one supposed to issue you a new contract. So I decided to not communicate with her because I knew what my worth was. And I knew that she would use the situation to manipulate me when I go back to work for them. So I just said, I'm not going to beg her to give me a new contract. I'm just going to sit back here. I give her 1 week time to contact me, to tell me if she's going to give me a new contract. And if she doesn't, I would just look for another job. Because at the end of the day, I had had enough of her shit. I was tired. The only reason that was keeping me at that job was the team and also my patients because I love them so much. But for her case, Nothing. So I just said I will wait for her to call me. So during that 1 week, I had decided to wait and see if she was going to call. She called me on one morning, very early in the morning, and I was still sleeping. So I did not go on the phone. But when I woke up, I saw the missed call and I said I would let her call the second time. So back to the call, she only made one call and she did not make a second one. So what I decided was to also start applying to new places. And I saw this company doing the same work that I was doing and I applied there. Yeah, that's how I ended up losing my perfect job. But also, I'm not crying that I lost it because through that, I was able to get contact to really good people. For example, if I wasn't working at the place I am working currently right now, I wouldn't be able to be an English teacher. I've been given a chance to be an English teacher in a nursing school. Anyway, that's it on how I ended up losing my job. But before ending this video, I want to show you guys how to write a CV the German way, because someone asked me on my previous video to show you guys how to write a CV. So this is what we're going to do. So I have my laptop here and I'm going to be explaining to you how to write a CV with my laptop. Like I have already an example of how it's supposed to look like, and I'm going to turn the camera and I'm going to be showing you the screen of my laptop as I explain a few details that I would like you guys to know. So this is the muster of how your Lebenslauf is supposed to look like. Lebenslauf means CV. So up there, you're going to write your names. You're going to write both your names. Then you will press enter. You go on the second line. You will write your address and telephone number. Then after you press enter and then you write Lebenslauf. Lebenslauf is the title because it's a CV. Also you will say Lebenslauf, not CV, because you're writing it in the German language. Then after press enter and write about your persönliche Daten. So persönliche Daten means your information about you, you know. So you're going to write down there under this persönliche Daten, you're going to write your names. Anschrift means your address, then mobile number, email, Staatsangehörigkeit, which means your nationality, and then hobbies. After that, you're going to go to Schulbildung. Schulbildung is your academic. So you're going to write year to year, which from this year to this year you were in primary school or you were in high school, and this and the story goes on. You include all your academic Bildung, like your academics. Then after that, you're going to go to Berufserfahrung. That's your work experience. If you have worked before, you include also your work experience from year to year. For example, you say from 2001 to 2005, I was working in this hospital, or I was doing egal. Like if you have a profession, you include it. And then after, you include those other things which are called Sonstiges, things that are do not require you to have a professional experience. For example, when you did au pair, you include it under Sonstiges, or if you have done FSO, to include too. Then after that, you're going to also include the languages that you speak. Then you put a signature and the date, and that's it. For the language part, it will be very important also if you include the level of the German language that you have. So if you have B2, you include that you have German language and you are at level B2. So we have come to the end of this video, and I would like to thank you guys if you watched this video until the end. Please do not forget to click the notification button so that you get notified anytime I post a new video. And also, if you have any video suggestion that you would want me to do, comment it down below. And in case you have any questions that I haven't answered, comment them down below and let's exchange ideas in the comment section. I really enjoy answering your questions, and your questions mean a lot to me because then I at least know that I am helping someone, you know. So until next time, do not forget to subscribe, click the notification button and subscribe. Until next time, bye.